Hey there, comic friends and fiends. Rob here, and the very last new comic book day of 2020, and mail. Not just mail, but in here today, two modern day grails. That's right. We'll get to them. What could it be? And it's not 2099 Grail. Trust me. I know that's what you're thinking. But so let's first we'll fly through the new comic book day pickups, and then we'll hit the mail and get to those grails. The first one in my pickup box for today, the Batman Annual. This is the B cover variant. The Inyok Lee cover. I love what they did with the Clown Hunter. This should, in theory, understand it. I haven't read it yet, just picked it up. I mean, I've walked in the door from a comic book shop 5 minutes ago. My understanding, this has the origin story for Clown Hunter. X-Men 16, just the standard cover there. Marvel, I don't tend to get too many of the B covers. Their B covers tend to be weird themes and don't necessarily tie into the book all that well, but I'll go for some of their incentives. Wolverine issue, was this issue 8, or I guess in their legacy printing, 350 issues, because we got to keep generating new number ones to get you to buy them in high numbers, but at the same time we want to celebrate milestones, so we'll keep track of the old numbers. So there's the 1 in 25 incentive variant for the Wolverine 350th issue. The SpiderMan Last Remains cover that everybody's gone gaga for. So this is just my off-the-rack version. I do have another version that'll come a little bit later that I got from the Dynamic Forces through my LCS, which is like a signed copy. And then we have the 1 in 10 variant featuring the Miles Morales there on the cover. So there, I thought it was kind of a neat cover. Miles Morales, and it looks like the Prowler maybe. And that was this week's. There's a couple others I picked up had them picked up from some recent weeks. Batman 103. I can't remember why I decided to go back and get a couple copies of this cardstock variant, but I apparently did. I know this one I did, 102. This B cover, they still had it in stock. I was able to get it at cover price still, and fair market value. Now granted, it's very early, so people overpay early, but it was like they're going 9/8. They're going like for $70 already on that, because it's his first cover, I think. All right, fine, I'll take it. I'll pick it up, add another copy at cover price, well, plus my subscriber discount is worth the risk in the investment. Having an extra copy so I don't kick myself later if he does become something big. And Rise of Ultraman 1 in 25. I missed this one for some reason. On Rise of Ultraman, I've been, I grew up racing home from elementary school to see my local TV station in the afternoon would air what I affectionately refer to as the Japanese man in giant rubber suit shows. And this was before the days of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I mean, this was Ultraman and Johnny Sacco and his fighting robot and Space Giants and stuff like that I used to watch. And so when Ultraman came out, I'd been reading that series. I've been digging it. Watched the new Netflix animation show thanks to one of the YouTubers that referred me to it. But for somehow I've been getting like the A cover and the 1 in 25 on all these, and I missed it on the shelf. Fortunately, they still had it available at the store. So, all right, this next we'll go into the packages now. I don't know what this is. I can't assign the tracking number for this or the next package in my list of orders that I placed. It says art inside, so I assume it's comic books. It comes from Texas, so it's not like an AOK or something from somebody I can think of off the top of my head. So I really don't know what this is, and we'll find out together here. What did I forget that I ordered? Or is it something that I ordered and for some reason the tracking number that I have in my system is different than the tracking number that's actually on the package. That does happen on occasion. So, all right. So we have... Somebody took a USPS box and broke it down here to... Although it's kind of weird, they put all the layers of cardboard, 4 layers of cardboard on one side, and then only one layer protecting the comic book on the other. All right. Then we carefully taped it in such a way. Can I get a knife in there without piercing the book? There we go. And then we decided to encapsulate it in the Tyvek bag, which we then taped down, but fortunately that came off pretty easily. And then we sealed the Tyvek bag, again, real tight up against the book, so it's difficult to get into, but it's all right. Okay. Okay, it looks like I know what this is now. This is a book that actually I didn't have a tracking number assigned to in the eBay bins. Oh, come on, don't bend. Come on, let me in. Damn it. This book is too old to have this kind of... This is really irritating. This is Silver Age Spider-Man, okay? Sub 100 and a key book. And they have put this in this Tyvek wrapper so tight that I can barely get a razor blade in there around this thing. And I can see it's got the flimsiest of board I've ever seen in my life as a backing board, and I am just afraid as all hell that this thing is bending because I can't get it out. There we go. Oh my God. Don't do this, people. Stop. You don't need to put these things in these stupid Tyvek bags, and if you do, give some gaps so you can cut into it. You don't have to seal it super tight around the comic. God bless America. All right. But that's okay, because now we're in it, so now we get the good part. Oh, I'm going to take this out of the bag, because this bag sucks. It's like thin little... Oh, God. This is pretty. There we are. Amazing Spider-Man number 45. That is the 3rd appearance of the Lizard. This book could use a cleaning. It's the backside's a little, little got some accumulation on it. Definitely can use a pressing. The book has minimal spine ticks on it. There is a crease that runs across this corner that does break color slightly as it runs through the Spider-Man. But, again, this is a book from, 1969, 1968, I think. Doesn't matter. I got a lot of books to get through. It's an old book, right? So we don't expect perfect. So I'm guessing this isn't the very fine. Oh, there's another one down here that'll press out. I'm thinking this is probably once it goes off and comes back that this is a minimum. It's a 7.5. Potentially it's in the 8 to 8.5 range. Well, it depends on that crease. So this is the thing that gets me when it comes to comic books, and when we have off-to-off-white pages, is there are certain things, doesn't matter how beautiful, and DJ Lynx knows all about this because he just suffered this. He has like the world's prettiest 7.0 book on the planet, or 5.0, or whatever it turned out to be. That X-Men First Appearance of Gambit came out. But it doesn't matter how beautiful the book is. there are certain things, a hole or certain creases in certain ways that set the maximum grade it can hit. So depending upon how they interpret this crease across it that does break color there, that could be the factor that sets that limit. There's nothing, no missing pages that I can readily see, or any cutouts or anything, so that's good. No stray marks. So anyways, so that's going to be the determining factor, really, is how they determine that, what's that max grade limit. So we'll see. All right, here's another one from the same person, it would seem, because it's packaged exactly the same. I'm going to try to get into this one quick because I just spent so much time talking about that beautiful, beautiful, amazing Spider-Man 45. And I will tell you that basically that book I paid $45 for. Yes, $45 for that book. That was a steal. That's why I picked it up. All right, let's get in here. Come on. That's what happens when people set auctions to end in the middle of the week at weird times, is that if you're a person that wakes up at weird times, you can get in there, and because everybody likes to play the sniper game on eBay for some reason, instead of just saying, okay, here's what I'll pay, and if it goes over that, forget it and walk away, which is what I tend to do. Set my limit and walk away, forget playing the sniper game. But so when you have these odd times, the sniper game can bite you in the butt. All right. So again, we're in the super tight Tyvek. We're going to try to get into this quickly this time. I don't remember what this book is. Oh. Oh, yeah. Okay. This one's in a much nicer container, easier to slide out. All right, 15-cent goodness. The Brave and the Bold, issue number 88. We have the first appearance of Wildcat. There you are. I think that's what that was. The significance of this book, as I recall. If I'm wrong, when I do in post, I'll put up a little blurb down here, but I'm pretty sure that's what this was. This was the first appearance of Wildcat. Again, some nice 15-cent goodness, and this is really good condition here. Amazing, very fine plus. Let's slide this guy out. Get up on close on there. I mean, look at the corners and the edges. This is what I love, when you can find books like this old, that are in this beautiful condition. We do have a ink mark on it, a receiving mark. That typically on books this age is not going to affect the grading at all. There's a couple minor spine ticks. We're off the off-white pages as we expect, but smell that newsprint. See, you want to smell? Smells great, don't it? And everything seems to be there. So, beautiful. I'm excited. Moving right along. That book just jumped out and attacked the floor. It's a good thing it's well packed, I hope. All right, this one should be easier. All praise the easy packed. All right. Yes, all right. I don't remember. What is this one? Again with the packing tape, but that's okay. Kind of get down. Confused me. A piece of the cardboard has comic book art on it for a second. I was trying to think whether or not that was something I needed. It's not. All right. These books are taped together. Why? Why do you hate me so much? Or are they sealed in one bag? They're sealed in one bag. That's the problem. Okay, that's not as bad. At least we can deal with that. Alright. Or is it just one book? It is just one book. In one bag with the bags and boards. Alright. Oh! Oh, yes! Oh. Some more DC 12-cent goodness. Mystery in Space. Featuring there the great Adam Strange. Beautiful cover. Him flying away from a couple aliens telling him, "You only have one blast left in your ray gun, Adam Strange. Fire on the wrong one, and the real one will doom you. You have 1 second to choose." Love those covers. That is just beautiful. And this is in really, really... again, this is in... There's much more tick marks on here. It's a very fine. And so, you know, probably a solid 7 book. And, you know, I picked it up really cheap. I mean, that was less than $20, that particular book. So there's values to be had out there. Some of these, you know, that's not necessarily a key issue. But it's a great cover and a classic. I love some of those Mystery into Space books, and I got a couple coming. You know, just the old, the science fiction covers. Some of them are just beautiful, and they're worth it right there just for the art. I'll preserve it and be happy to own that. All right, what is this one? This one is another. Well, I probably do know. Oh, I think this is an ASM book. That was this was like a, if this is the one I think it is, that this is going to be, I think this is ASM 272. Taped it to the board. This one is at least using Scotch tape instead of packing tape. So thank you there. That's a lot easier to deal with. This is one more piece down there. Yes, this is newsstand variant. ASM 272. So this is the first appearance and origin of Thomas Fireheart Puma on there. So that's a nice book to add to the collection. It's a minor key. Puma's not a major character or anything, but hey, you know, again, you don't pay a lot for it. It's newsstand variant. It's in really good condition. He estimates it. He wrote, you know, as very fine near mint. I don't think that you're going to get a near mint grade out of it, but you know that 8 range is a possibility after clean and press. So very good. We're burning through it. Now this, see folks, this is how we send comic books. Not those others. I mean, the other books arrived here all in good condition, fine, but this is just the, as Mando would say, this is the way. But this is not the way. Why? I mean, I don't understand what purpose this serves. It wasn't taped inside the Gemini mailer. So putting it in a second poly bag is so, you know, hey, if you want to protect that bag and board for some reason, take your modern bag and board and then put it inside of a Silver Age bag and board. You're good to go. Or use some magazine bags or something. But these Tyvek wrappers and then tightening them up so tight that it's hard to get the comic out of. I can't, you know, this is my second least favorite way for people to package comics, right behind a crap ton of packing peanuts. All right, so this is a book that I have a couple copies of, but I don't have this variant on. And normally I wouldn't play this particular variant game, but, you know, lately it is what it is. And that is Hell Arisen issue number 3, the first appearance of Punchline. This is the second print. So I have a couple first prints and a couple third prints, but I didn't have a second print. And normally I wouldn't care, but I got it for less than $10. I think I paid $7.99 plus shipping. And, you know, the way that people have been going really bizarre on some of these print runs. I mean, it used to be, it was simple. Get the first print, and that was the important thing. And if you couldn't get it, then you went to the others, but the others weren't the more expensive versions. Now you're seeing over and over again where these other variants, that especially when it's the same cover, that's just got the color shift, that somehow they're worth more in the eyes of some of these speculator collectors because there's less of them. Don't buy it. But, great, we're going to run the gamut here. Packing peanuts. Hooray. Now, this is where we want to pay attention. We're down to 2 books left. This is one of the big boy books here. And before I open this, while I'm opening this, I'll take this opportunity to remind you, the mystery boxes are still available. My first ever Rob's Fat Sacks mystery boxes. We are down to just one of the $115 level boxes, and still have about 8 of the $65 boxes available. I have not seen any claims yet for either of the GPs or any postings of either of the GPs. So either they are out there in the wild not having been posted yet, or the GP still's in my comic cave, waiting for somebody to want to buy it. So the link to that will be here in the book, or at the end of the comic, or the end of this video. I can't speak and focus with a blade at the same time. But at the end of this video, there'll be a link to the video description of the mystery box, as well as a link down below here in the description of this video with information about what's in those mystery boxes and how you can contact me via Instagram if you're interested in one of those. I will tell you that they are mystery boxes. Since they're my first ones, I really made sure that they had value. So far, everybody's been thrilled. The feedback has been amazing on them. And their book, I built it as a collector. What would I want to get in a mystery box? I don't have tons of inventory like a store that I'm trying to dump, and I'm not a guy. Well, I open some mystery boxes. I'm not a guy who opens up tons and tons of mystery boxes, and so now I'm just dumping my mystery box gains on somebody else in another mystery box. So there you go. All right, so we've got this in coat padding now. Again, I'm not entirely sure what purpose, but this is a lot easier because they didn't tape that end down. Whew. All right. So this is the first. Put the backside up. You know what the comic this is just by looking at the backside? What? You don't? You've seen this backside on a bunch of comics. Yeah, you have. All right. So I'm going to take this out of the bag so that way it can be seen. This is one of my modern grails that had to be picked up for the collection. As you can see behind me, there's many a Spider-Man things, and we're kind of working we got our Spider-Man 2099. You can't see, but SpiderMan Noir is up there, so we need to add to that. So we had to pick up ourselves a Edge of the Spider-Verse #2, first appearance of Gwen Stacy. Now this is a second print, as opposed to the first print. I have to be realistic sometimes in what I'm going to spend my money on, especially when I'm going to go for a big book. And right now, at this time of year especially, there's these types of books are stupid overpriced. So when you can find one that's value, compared to what it is, that's where I went. So this book here, which would be normally a couple hundred, $300, I was able to get this for $2, and this is signed and remarked by the artist. So of course, if this was a first print, this would be like $1,000 something, and there's no way that I can bring myself to do that without saving up for considerably longer period of time. Now, the question would be is whether or not you could press this and potentially get a bump on it. I'm thinking not. Um, the corner's got a... Yeah, I'm not going to try to show you through this case. It's going to be too hard to see, but the corner's got a little ding on both bottom, top and bottom, which are not from manufacturing defects. These are more little wear rubs, whatever. But that's fine. I'll take a 9.6 Gwen Stacy, number 2. This first appearance Gwen Stacy. I actually have another one that's coming back from PGX shortly, which is the comic bug variant. So that'll give me the comic book variant in this. Maybe someday I'll pick up the third print variant, which is a completely different cover versus the color shift. But I'll take this. Very happy to add this to the collection. All right, and here it is. This one is, I bit the bullet on this one. Because the reality is well, he's not my favorite of the Spider characters. I barely even read his stuff. I mean, this doesn't appeal to me. And it's, of course, being Miles Morales. But I recognize that he's legit at this point, and got leading the huge next generation characters. And so this is like really kind of towards the end of being able to get this book at a semi-reasonable price before it becomes in, you know, the out of touch range. Once he, I mean, we saw what happened when he got added just to a video game, leading the video game, and he's had an animated movie. But when Miles Morales shows up in the MCU or on a Disney Plus show, which is just realistically, it's just a matter of time, then these books will just be completely and utterly out of reach for without significant savings and whatnot. So there we are. Ultimate Fallout 4, the first print. You get the white number 4 versus the black number 4, which falls in down here. That's how you can tell the difference when you're looking at them, guys. And a 9.6, signed by Clayton Crane, who did the cover. Before this, all I had was like 3 copies of the Halloween reprint, which surprisingly is some people assign some value to, but there's a bazillion of them, so they're not worth jack. But sometimes it's not about worth. It's just about getting that. So these 2 Spider-Verse books, these are going to go up on the wall. I just have to figure out which books are coming down in their place to put those 2 up there. But it only makes sense that, you know, those are modern day grail keys that close out my 2020, the Spider-Verse and the Ultimate Fallout 4. What's going to be my 2021 grails? Well, I do have targets on potentially for 2021, keeping my eye out for an ASM 300 in a 9 to 9.4 range. I was going to kind of keep my eye out on that. And I have coveted for a long time a Batman Adventures number 12. I have several different Batman Adventures 12 reprints, convention variants and whatnot, but I just don't have one of the originals. So that's the other big boy book for 2021 goal. Whether I'll get it, we'll find out. Stick around, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell to be alert, and maybe you'll find out if I do manage to pick up one of those next books for my 2021 Grail checklist. All right, guys, as always, make sure you collect what you want and not what other people say you should collect, especially me. I'm just a fat man with a fat stack of comics and a fat opinion. Thanks for watching. Happy New Year. Be safe.